Well, this is Political Paradigm on Channels Television. Welcome. I'm Terry Ikumi. Last week, I had a chat with the Israeli ambassador to Nigeria, Mr. Michael Freeman, on the ongoing conflict involving Israel, the United States, and Iran. I had extended an invitation to the Embassy of Iran for a balanced conversation, but there was no response at the time. We've now received a response, and the embassy has declined an interview at this time, stating that interviews have already been granted and a press statement has been released. Well, here are some excerpts from that press release. As received from the Iranian embassy, it reads in parts, the Islamic Republic of Iran has been subjected to a deliberate and premeditated military aggression by the United States of America and the Israeli regime, an act that constitutes a blatant violation of fundamental principles of international law and the Charter of the United Nations. Let me be absolutely clear, what has been done against Iran is not merely a military operation. It is a flagrant violation of Article 2, Paragraph 4 of the UN Charter, which explicitly prohibits the use of force against the territorial integrity and political sovereignty of any state. This act, according to that statement, represents a direct assault on Iran's national sovereignty and territorial integrity and a serious breach of international law. End of quote. Now, when I raised this with the Israeli ambassador, he cited Article 51, which gives nations the right to defend themselves. The Israeli ambassador, Michael Freeman, went on to say that the leadership of Iran had threatened repeatedly the Israeli regime and its actions warranted a defense. Now, back to the statement from the ambassador of Iran. He said it is crucial to note the timing of this aggression. At the time these attacks occurred, Iran was actively engaged in diplomatic negotiations with the United States. In fact, according to him, Iran had returned to the negotiating table for the second time, acting in good faith to resolve issues through diplomacy. Yet once again, the United States chose to carry out a military attack in the midst of an ongoing diplomatic process. The ambassador of Israel, on his part, said all diplomatic efforts had failed because Iran was not truthful about its nuclear program, which it claims is for energy purposes only, and had denied international monitors access to its nuclear facility. Iran insists, however, that its defensive measures are exercised strictly within its legal and rightful framework in accordance with Article 51 of the UN Charter and has the inherent and legitimate right to defend itself against armed aggression. Iran's statement concludes by saying the Iranian people will not submit to aggression. Well, you can catch the interview with the Israeli ambassador on YouTube. Well, let's move on to our first discussion of the day. I'm joined by a member of the House of Representatives who is the chairman of the House Committee on Customs, Honorable Leke Abejide, to discuss developments within the African Democratic Congress, ADC. Welcome to Political Paradigm, Honorable.
Thank you for having me.
I think in recent times, every time you get an invitation to an interview, it's based on controversy around your party. And I think
I've been declining so many invitations.
It worries you, doesn't it, that your party is embroiled in this kind of crisis as we're going to an election year?
Well, it's normal in politics. Politics, because it determines who gets what, how, and when. So everybody tends to struggle for it, and even it's normal. Even in the APC, everybody is struggling to get his own. So our party was very quiet before the issue of coalition came. And since the coalition started, we have been having issues. We have two ADC now. We have the coalition ADC, and we have the original ADC. So these are the two people now in court, you know, that are plethora of cases in court. We don't know how it's going to end.
I'm hoping not to end in court as well. So just to avoid a lawsuit, I want to ask you, because I know that I don't want to be sued. I don't want you suing Channels TV either. I know that the ADC had expelled you from the party. That's the other part of the faction that you talk about. So that's fine. But I want to ask you, how do I address you? Still as a member of the ADC?
To where do I belong? I'm the only elected member. Anybody you see in ADC today, maybe they came just recently, either in the House of Representatives or in the Senate. They were not elected on the platform. They were elected on different platforms. So it is just maybe just last week or 2 weeks ago that some people came and it's decamped to ADC. So I have always been elected on this party. I've never tried any election apart from on any other platform apart from ADC, and I have remained in ADC. I've never decamped. So the issue of maybe expulsion or whatever, nobody expelled me. My national chairman is still there, and all our party executives.
No, I'm talking about the David Mark faction.
No, David Mark is not a member of a party.
Well, whose name?
Coalition ADC, not.
What's the name on INEC's website?
Well, that's why I said when court decides,
yes,
we'll be able to know who owns the party, whether we are on the wrong side of the law or they're on the wrong side of the law.
But you had also...
Let me tell you, maybe you are in the media, and it appears you people don't do investigative journalism very well. Sorry to say, because, you know, before you can join a political party or hold any office in that party, you must first of all register in your ward. As at the time Chibra Fungo stood up from that chair and asked David Mark to sit on that chair, David Mark was not a registered member of ADC in his ward.
How do you know that?
It is after all their coalition, most of them went on to do the...
No, you're specific.
It was in the media too.
But you were specific about David Mark.
Not only him, all of them.
I'm talking about the leadership.
I'm talking
I understand that the likes of...
He's just the national chairman of the coalition.
But that's the leadership that you're challenging. I'm talking about the recent defections and registrations we saw were from the likes of Atiku, Obi, and Amechi.
And even the article you just mentioned, you also know it's not been long. He went to register in his ward. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
That's what happened to all of them.
But he's not part of the leadership, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah. It's not part
so the argument is that he's not part of the leadership is different from the people who are aspiring within the party. So I specifically mentioned the
I don't want to
dwell
too much on it because I told you there are electoral cases in courts.
Yeah. But why are you not in court?
I'm in court.
Because you had said you would challenge your expulsion.
I'm in court.
Specifically your expulsion.
Of course. No. I don't need to challenge. Somebody who does not have the local standard cannot expel me from my party. Are you aware now that there are some people in court against ADC to be deregistered?
What do you think about it?
Okay. Do you know who they are using to defend their case? Because they said ADC did not win any election.
They're using you.
They are not using me to defend their case. This is the person they said they have suspended. It's me now, they are not using.
But at the time, that was at the time. Your suspension was based on...
No. I'm talking of recent.
No, I mean that the election they're referring to was the 2023 election at the time.
Yeah.
And you were suspended subsequently for anti-party.
So if you suspend it, you cannot use me to defend your case in the court.
Where do you stand on that suit? Do you think that the ADC should be registered on that basis?
No. Well, I'm not court. Court knows better.
What is your party? You think your party should be deregistered?
ADC won election.
Yes.
I didn't come as a member of House of Representatives alone. We were two. Myself, Right Honorable Abejide, and Honorable Salman Idris from Kogi State. And we had, because he has equally become two, State Assembly member. So ADC actually won election in 2019 and 2023. So, to be in fairness to the party actually won election.
There's a recent court judgment on the suit challenging their leadership of the party, which we had mentioned earlier. And the court had ordered that status quo be maintained. Now, the ADC... So I want to get your interpretation of what that appeal court judgment is, because the ADC leadership under David Mark says that it means that the current state of affairs within the party should remain unchanged pending the determination of the substantive suit. That there's a difference between status quo and status quo antebellum. And the court was clear on maintaining status quo, which is what this faction, as you claim, is dependent on.
Okay. I think the status quo, not even think, what the status quo means is that before they came, the person who took them to court is claiming to be the national chairman of the party. That is Honorable Bala Nafi Gumbi. When all other NWC members resigned, he refused to resign. And he went to court that when Nwosu resigned, he's supposed to be the national chairman of the party. And he went to court, also telling the court that our constitution says you must be 2 years without any waiver in the party before you can hold national office, and 1 year before you can hold states of party office positions. And he was challenging all this and said that you cannot join a party one day and that same day you become the national chairman. So these are his prayers. And the coalition people went to Court of Appeal to challenge. I think there's a statement from Federal High Court that this is so cause why this should not be sustained. And they went to Court of Appeal for the Court of Appeal to stop them, to stop the Federal High Court from asking them to show cause on this. And the Court of Appeal sent them back to go and show cause. Why must you be in a party in 1 day and become national chairman or national secretary? And then work against your own constitution, because it's a constitutional matter. It's not an internal party affairs. That this is a constitutional matter. Go and answer to the query. The status quo they are talking about is that Bala Gombe is the national chairman since Nwosu resigned. So that is the status quo. Now that is what the man in Bala Gombe is fighting for. See, he is the national chairman. And then they're back to Federal High Court. Let's see what the judgment will be.
Okay. I was going to question if that status really existed for it to be called a status quo following Ralph Nwosu's resignation. But let's leave that for the courts to decide. Let me ask you a question. The ADC has announced its convention for conventions from world level from the 7th to the 14th of April.
No, that's the coalition.
That's the one I'm asking. I want to get your thoughts on it.
No, that's not the ADC. That's coalition.
It doesn't. You don't think?
No, that one is not authentic. You don't believe in this one.
But throw your weight. I'll compare your weight and that of this coalition, because you see the strength of this coalition now that you're dismissing.
Which strength? Where is the strength?
There are now 9 new senators and about 15 members of the House of Reps.
Of course, because those people are displaced politicians. There is no way they cannot go to APC. And they see maybe their senior brothers and senior sisters are in the ADC coalition. So there's nowhere to go than to come and join them.
But isn't that politics?
Yeah, it's politics.
Because I know in December, when you were speaking with my colleague Kayla, you said that the strength of this ADC against the APC administration does not exist because they don't have elected officials. Now they have elected officials.
How many elected officials?
We're counting. You said they had none. I'm saying now they have 9 senators.
No, I didn't say they have none. I was there.
You said none.
I was there. I didn't say none.
I mean, apart from you.
I was the only one.
Yeah, apart from you. You said they didn't have any strength
yes.
because they didn't have elected officials.
Okay, let's see how many from the states.
There are quite a number. I mean, look at what happened with Sokoto for starters. Look at...
how many in Sokoto states?
The numbers are growing, Honorable. You know that.
No, I'm talking of states.
State Assembly members moved with Tambuwa. You know that as well.
How many of them?
Let's not go into the numbers. The numbers are not gigantic, but they count for something, don't they?
You see, Terry, you see, every politics is local. And I have advised them. If you are looking up, you don't look down, you will fall. Their attention is on the presidency rather than building a solid party from the grassroots. How do you think I'm winning my election? I look at the structures that they are the people. I went down to the people myself. Make my structure from the ward level to the local government level to make sure they're solid. So if we say we are looking for the presidency, who are we going to use at the grassroots that is going to do this work? You can only remain in your polling unit on that day now. Even though you are the president, you can't go beyond your polling unit. So who are the people that you have groomed that we remain? People are looking at the APC, APC is just collecting state, they are just showing governor. APC has people at the polling unit level, at the ward level, at the local government level, at the state level. Even in every homes. I don't know how you want to fight such a big party with big structure.
The people who have kicked you out.
Who?
The people who have kicked you out of the ADC.
Who kicked me out?
Claim to have structures. These are people who.
Don't let us go there. They cannot do anything with the landlord except I want to leave myself.
So why haven't you left? Because
I'm not going to leave because I need to fight the injustice.
So I think
for you to come to my house and trying to displace me in my house, I need to fight it to the end.
One of the reasons why you were even kicked out of the party is
why are you
because you
it's
are
better
openly,
you look for another word to use. Nobody can kick me out of the party.
You're openly supporting an APC government. And here comes an ADC coalition that wants to take out an APC government. Why do you think they would want to work with someone like you?
Well, if you say supporting which APC am I supporting? I'm supporting the president.
Yes.
So what is wrong in it? Governor Soludo, Chukma Soludo, is he not supporting the president? Is he not in Abga? Even Alex Oti of Abia State, is he not supporting the president? Is he from APC? Is he not a Labour? So what is wrong? And I'm not new to the president. I have been with the president a long time ago. I don't hide it.
Fair enough.
You understand? And again, if he's not doing well, I will not support him. But tell me, those who want to take him out of the place, what is their own agenda? What is it they want to do better? Do they want to come and make sure that each state can not pay salaries of the workers? Why do you think all governors are happy to join this president? Because number one, they're no more borrowing money to pay their civil servants in their states. They have enough to do infrastructures. No governor today in any party that will not support this president because they knew what their predecessors passed through. I'm very close to, I have many friends who have governors, former governors. I knew what they passed through. To pay salary was difficult for them. About almost 30 states could not pay salary easily.
Is that all there is to governance, payment of salaries?
But are they going to say that when we come, we are going to restore the subsidy, then we'll go back to fuel scarcity and then queue on in every street in Nigeria? Are they going to say that when we come, we will now make sure only a few people will go to CBN, get dollars, sell it, and become trillionaire overnight? Is that what they are going to say? Are they going to say that all the children now that the children of less privilege who cannot pay their school fees in the universities, who have access to fund now, and then they have fund that they are using to take them to without recourse to their parents, are they going to say that, okay, we're going to remove it so that people will start suffering? Student, I want to tell you, students will be the agent of APC in this coming election because they're the greatest beneficiaries. My road in Kogi State is the worst road in Nigeria, especially Kogi West, where I come from. From Kaba to Egbe, a journey of like 45 minutes will take you 5 hours. Now, and also from Kaba to Mokwekiti, a journey of like say 30 minutes will take you 4 hours. I move a motion, try to bring the attention of the federal government to it. The president immediately gave the minister a marching order. What do you want again? We want a listening president like this. And I'm sure it's not by mouthing it they would take action on those frauds. And this is what our people need. You see the vote we are going to bring in Kogi State. It will suppress so many. Maybe we will come first in all the state, 36
You know,
states.
anyone listening to you would say that you're justified in your decision to support the president. I want to ask you something which a lot of Nigerians have raised, that apart from the president trying to capture all the states, which they say is turning the country
It's
into
not
a
capturing the state. It is the state that are looking for. See, I just
It's
gave you an
political
example.
capture.
If you are governor
However,
of those states today, I believe the same day they elect you, if it's not on the platform APC, you will join the president. It's not the party. Election is not about party. It's about the personality involved.
so here's the argument.
If this president is not the candidate of APC, forget it.
Here's the argument as far as this administration is concerned. While you point to some of the successes of the administration, which you believe would make people, Nigerians vote for him, and why governors are joining, some say it's state capture. Some say that this administration fears free, fair, credible elections, and that's what has come up with the Electoral Act Amendment Bill, which we will talk about briefly. But also, there's the aspect of the judiciary. Now, questions are being raised about capturing the integrity of the judiciary, especially with the recent houses built for judges in the FCT. Do you think that that is justified?
The whalers, they are the one that is scared of free and fair election. They want to use, you know, that section 60, subsection 3, you know, because the whalers want only one way, so that they are going to maybe manipulate all the electronic gadgets so that they can just be sending like text message with their result in, and then they say they have won. See, there is no, I have participated in elections. The main thing is that from ECAT, that you can rely upon majorly. What if the electronic fail? I can be a presiding officer and tell you that, okay, I've uploaded your results. Or maybe, because I am the only one at the back end, I can say, okay, maybe if you score 40 now, I want to help you. I put another 0 and then upload it into the system. If it is only that electronic system, there is no document whereby all agents signed and saw that it was only 40 you scored, though. They will only rely on the 400 that they are posted. This electronics, you can manipulate it the way you want. Do you believe that? You can use it to do so many things. Let there be option of check and balances. Except you don't want to have agents. And except your agent compromise. Your agent's supposed to be able to fight for you and say that this is my own result and hold on to it. But if you want to just sit down, you don't want to have agents across the, just like Labour had the other time, they won election in some places, but there was no agent. So they want to just say, okay, let's just use electronics only, because they don't want to spend money to put the agent in all polling units across the country. And they say that they're lagging behind now. It's already late for them to catch up.
What about,
I want to start a race. A race. I have started, maybe it's a country race. I have started since yesterday running. And you are just preparing to run today. Can you meet me? Even though you are a jet. It is the same thing applicable to all these parties. They are only willing.
Okay.
They are not prepared for the election.
So how about the aspect of building houses for judges?
Building houses for judges, well, I'm an advocate of the judiciary being a frontline charge, so that it will not seem as if they are in the hands of the executives to be manipulated, or they are within the whims and caprices of the executives. So I believe if they put them as frontline charge, they can do that for themselves. But since they're incapacitated, do we want them to go and sleep outside?
They already sleep in their houses.
Yeah, it's good. That's what I'm saying. They will be happy to do the work better.
So let me get something clear. Do you condemn?
But before that frontline charge things happens, they cannot sleep outside.
But Honorable.
Their condition of service has to be commensurate with the service they render to the
judicial officers have repeatedly asked for frontline charge. They've asked for independence.
I have just told you that.
They've also asked for improved funding. They've never asked to have houses built for them. So I ask you now, considering...
does it mean building houses for them is a great gift?
I believe that they know that it's suggestive. That's why they never asked for houses to be built for them. So I'm asking you what your thoughts are. It's good that you say...
Who told you? Were you there in their meeting?
What meeting?
When they told them they want to build houses. I know.
I'm a journalist, Honorable. I would know.
They were all jubilating that they wanted them to build houses for them. They didn't say they don't want.
They didn't ask for it. That's what I'm saying.
Must you ask before you...
but you just started off this conversation by saying that it would be best,
it's the best
to put them in the frontline charge than to build houses for them.
Me, I'm in support of them being in the frontline charge, so that it will not be as if their life depends on the executive to survive. It's not only in the federal, it happens in the state. So I want to advocate that even at the state level, this will be at the frontline charge, so that the governors cannot... I saw some retired judges. I was sorry for them because the condition I saw them, it was not.
You know, anyone would ask why that arm of government, and the reason is that there are 3 arms of government, and do we start building houses for every legislator that comes in now?
What?
Good. All right. Let's move on to something else. Let's talk quickly just before we go about dual party membership. Your colleagues have passed the amendment bill. And it's interesting that this is coming after the president had signed the Electoral Act amendment bill. It's almost like a second thought. And the question is, why has this come up where the National Assembly has said that if you belong to if you're registered in 2 parties, you would not be recognized as any, and you'll be liable, you'll not be recognized to be in any of the parties. You'll be put, you could go to jail upon conviction for 10 years, or you could pay a fine of 2 years, 10 million or 2 years. So, several arguments from your colleagues pointed to the fact that they could be set up by another party by registering them in another party. Remember, it's e-registration now, and we see some of the discrepancies online,
like
and it's questionable. Like the ADC zone.
Obama is there.
Clearly.
But
then again,
a member of the coalition.
Yes, but a member of the House of Representatives stood up to say that he was given an APC card even though he is a member of the PDP.
That was given a member a card.
A card. He was registered. I'm saying that he said he was registered.
A card is different from being registered. You can have card and not registered. You got it. So giving him card does not mean he's registered with that party.
So my point is,
better to me, maybe it's another way of checkmating people who will run from one party after losing the primary and go to another one.
Very well then.
So I think that's a way of checking.
Very well then. Honorable Abejide, thank you for your time on Political Paradigm.
Thank you for having me.
I've been speaking with Honorable Abejide. He's the chairman of the House Committee on Customs, and he's a member of the ADC, who he was expelled by a faction, but he insists that he's a legitimate member of the ADC, and the other faction is the false one.